West Point is a premier leadership training institution in the country. Come to West Point and you will learn to lead in the military and in society.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
West Point is a leadership laboratory because for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you never get away from the fact that you're going to be a leader.
Now we got a bunch of normal stresses sticking out of this thing. I resolve it into one force.
I picked West Point over the Naval Academy and the Air Force Academy because at West Point you lead people. You're not working with machines or you're not working on a ship. And that's why, it's appealing to me.
West Point teaches you about tradition, about friendship, about family, about discipline, about structure, about being a follower, about learning about yourself. And all that is about leadership. You learn about leadership every day at West Point.
Leadership. To lead, you must know how to follow. You must have self-confidence and be able to instill it in others. You must be well educated in the physical sciences and liberal arts. The United States Military Academy is approximately 50 miles north of New York City. The main campus overlooks the Hudson River, and behind the gray stone buildings to the west are nearly 16,000 acres of wooded training grounds. The region was an important defensive position for the Continental Army during the American Revolution. The Hudson River provided the British with a north-south invasion route into the heart of the American colonies, and General Washington knew that this West Point on the river was the key to America's defense. Had the British captured this position and taken control of the Hudson River, the 13 colonies would have been split, and the outcome of the war might have been very different. The Revolutionary War clearly demonstrated that officers trained in artillery and engineering were needed for the new nation's defense. And in 1802, President Jefferson signed the law establishing the Military Academy at West Point.
I knew this place would challenge me academically, but I knew it would help me out too, because at West Point they give you a little bit of everything to take in your first couple years. The academic system here is superb because you have small classes, you have instructors that will bend over backwards to help you, and you have classmates that will help you out and want to discuss these things with you. All these things you're set up to succeed.
During the first 2 years at West Point, you will study both science and engineering and the humanities, giving you broad exposure to both fields. During the next 2 years, you will be allowed to focus your studies on your specific interests and your major.
So it's chemicals that got us, because we've lost.
It says MLRS. Is the MLRS back here? Do we have MLRS in there?
Your military training will take place in the classroom.
Those 3 push up the ammo box, the 2 that are already on the first swing, grab it, pull it across, and then you slide it all the way across to the next 2.
And in the field. You also need to be physically fit. You will learn to act decisively. You will learn to lead. And you will also learn about yourself.
I've accomplished almost every goal that I've set out for myself, a lot of ones that I didn't think I would be able to accomplish. And that says a lot for how this place can really push you to achieve your potential. Big news of the week is I've been accepted into medical school. And after 4 years of wondering if I was going to be able to do that, it was a big relief.
Both mentally and physically, you will be pushed far beyond what you think you can do. And you will learn firsthand that with self-confidence and constant encouragement from your peers and your leaders, you will accomplish more than you ever thought possible.
That's the neatest thing about West Point, the fact that I'm not just here for myself. Right now this year, for instance, I'm a battalion commander. I have 400 people to look out for. Knowing that they depend on me and my staff to make sure that things run smoothly, they have the supplies they need, they're at the formations they need to be, it's a satisfaction like no other I've ever known before. It's a great feeling.
I think you're noticed because you're a woman, but I don't think you're judged because you're a woman. If you meet the standards that are expected of you, then you are judged in that manner.
Aerospace engineering as a major is quite tough, but I can get through it here at West Point with all my other activities because of my classmates and my instructors. And instructors are great because they're here. Their whole purpose as Army officers here at West Point is to be our instructor and be open to us at all hours of the day. And we can come in whenever we need them, whenever we have questions, and they're there for us.
You are challenged in academics at West Point, but you can succeed. Classes are small, and they are taught by talented, highly trained Army officers and civilian professors.
What's behind this early group development stage? Okay, and we began to understand it.
There's a lot of motivation for the staff and faculty here at West Point to spend that extra time, to go that extra mile with the individual cadets if they need that attention, because we have a vested interest in how well prepared they are once they graduate from West Point.
In terms of preparing for the Truman, the Rhodes, the Marshall scholarships, the thing that's been extremely beneficial has been the aid of instructors who volunteer their time and energy to help you get ready to compete for those.
Number one, stand by. Number one, fire!
What I remember most from the summer, I guess, is the actual hands-on training. Raising my hands, and they said, who wants to be first and to drive the tank? And so I kind of got nudged by my classmates, raised my hand, and sure enough, 5 minutes later, I was in there driving an M1 tank. Everything that we learn in the summer is built upon what we learn in the academic classroom.
Military training takes place in the field and in the classroom.
Those are little things that you do to send messages. And I'm going to talk about 2 examples that maybe will give you a better idea how to do that.
In the field, you will be tested and trained under simulated combat conditions. In the classroom, you will study modern weapons systems and learn the science of military strategy. You will learn from military leaders of the past and the present.
Don't ever forget that you are going to lead human beings. Their lives are going to be placed in your hands, and you have to measure up.
Life at West Point is guided by trust. A cadet will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. This honor code is a cornerstone of leadership.
I think the honor code, to me at least, means that I can trust my friends and I can trust the people around me. Because I left my calculator at the library for a week, couldn't remember where the heck I put it, and then a week later I remembered, went back, and there it was, sitting on the same desk that I had left it.
At West Point, you stay busy. Academics, military duties, study, and athletics are all part of your day. But somehow, you get it all done.
You're most alive here when you got too much to do and not enough time to do it, which happens a lot. That's when it really gets fun. When you're working hard to do everything right, but also to give yourself some time off so you can go and enjoy yourself. You just can't beat it.
I would lead the way I would want to be led myself. Leadership through example, I think, is the best way. Let someone follow your leadership style, and if they like it, then let them take it and have it as their own leadership style. And that's how I'd actually teach them to lead, is by example.
West Point definitely sets you up to succeed. Even though certain things are challenging and hard, the NCOs, the officers, the cadet leaders that you have during those time periods, they're all there to help you succeed.
West Point cadets, leaders for a lifetime.
Every time you walk on the West Point campus, you see the pride in all the cadets' eyes. And the graduates that have come here, Schwarzkopf, Lee, Grant, Eisenhower, MacArthur. It's just something that you want to be a part of. You want to be a part of the long gray line.
Yeah, because these are all conventions. Point 2, point 4, and 4.
All the money in the world couldn't